love of heaven, come away, and hear what I shall tell you." "Go on with your work," said the sergeant to his men, who were now plying pickaxe and spade. I can't stay here and see it," exclaimed the landlord once more. "Here, then, it is the body of my son, my only son. Let him rest, if rest he can. He was wounded in a quarrel, and brought home here to die. I thought he would recover, but there was neither doctor nor priest at hand, and in spite of all that we could do for him, he died. Let him alone now, or let a priest first be sent for. He died unconfessed. But it was not my fault. It may not be yet too late to make peace for him." "But why is he buried in this place?" "We did not wish to make a stir about it. Nobody knew of his death, and we laid him down quietly. One place I thought was as good as another when the life was out of him. We are poor folk, and could not pay for ceremonies." The truth at length came out. Father and son were both members of a band of thieves. Under this floor they had concealed their plunder, and there too lay more than one mouldering corpse, victims who had occupied the room in which I slept, and had there met their death. The son was indeed buried in that spot. He had been mortally wounded in a skirmish with travellers, and had lived long enough to repent of his deeds, and to beg for that priestly absolution which, according to his creed, was necessary to secure his pardon. In vain he had urged his father to bring the confessor to his bedside. In vain he had entreated him to break off from the murderous band with which he was allied, and to live honestly in future. His prayers were disregarded, and his dying admonitions were of no avail. But for the strange mysterious warning which had roused me from my sleep and driven me out of the house, that night another crime would have been added to the old man's tale of guilt. That gasping attempt to speak, and that awful groaning, whence did they proceed? It was no living voice. Beyond that I will express no opinion on the subject. I will only say it was the means of saving my life, and at the same time putting an end to the series of bloody deeds which had been committed in that house. I received my passport that evening by the diligence from Rome, and started the next morning on my way to Naples. As we were crossing the frontier, a tall figure approached, wearing the long rough cupola of the mendicant friars, with a hood over the face and holes for the eyes to look through. He earned a tin money box in his hand, which he held out to the passengers, jingling a few coins in it, and crying in a monotonous voice, "Anima in purgatorio! Anima in purgatorio!" I do not believe in purgatory, nor in supplications for the dead, but I dropped a piece of silver into the box nevertheless, as I thought of that unhallowed grave in the forest, and my prayer went up to heaven in all sincerity. Rest in peace. End of No Living Voice by Thomas Street Millington. Recording by Ross Clement.